boys and girls, we are moving into fractions, and this first part's just a quick little review. If you remember way back in the beginning of the year, we had a bunch of squares and we tried to make quilts. And you thought of many different ways to partition or break up your square into halves and thirds, sixths. You thought of many different ways. So we're going to kind of come back to that as a quick review and talk about what it means to be a fraction. And all it is it's a part of a whole. Okay, so if we wrote this 2/3, and this is how you would write it in words, 2/3, remember that this bottom number, you have to change it to thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, and so on. And all this is it's telling me I have 2 parts and 3 in all. So it's the part over the whole. What I call my part, or the top number in a fraction, is called my numerator. Okay, it's just telling me this is the part I'm looking at. The bottom number, or the denominator, is telling me how many pieces I have in all, or my total, the whole. Okay, so be sure you can identify these words and what they mean. Okay, so numerator is the top number and it means the part. Denominator is the bottom number and it's telling you how many pieces you have total. Okay? Real world examples. Fractions is just like dividing. Okay, so you have a whole, let's think about a pizza or a pie, cake, and you're going to divide it among a certain number of people. So let's say you have 3 whole pies and you want to divide the pies among 2 people. Okay, so that's how you could use it for food. You use this all the time, especially when you have parties or guests over. The other thing you could think about are crafts. If you have a ribbon and you're trying to make bows, or you want to create a headband, or anything really, you would want to be able to divide a long piece of ribbon up into equal parts so that you can have the same size ribbon or headband. The other thing we could talk about is money. You're going to want to divide up money equally, or maybe you're trying to save up in your piggy bank for something. You want to see how close you are to getting the whole in order to purchase whatever it is you're saving for. So there are many uses for fractions. You use them in recipes. Every day you will use these. So it's very important to understand this. All right, so here's the fun part. Okay, I have these, you can think about ribbons, piece of wood, whatever works for you. It's just a very long rectangle. And I have the word halves here. Okay, and this means I want to divide this into 2 equal pieces because I know that this is how I write 1/2. And again, this is the whole. So to divide this in half, you could think about sharing a sandwich or something with a friend or a sibling. You would cut that sandwich right down the middle so that you each get an equal part. Notice here's 1 part, 2 parts, so I have 2 in all. So this piece is 1/2. And this piece is 1/2, okay? This is 1 part of the 2 in all. This is 1 part of the 2 in all. Another example, if I want to take this and break it into thirds, and again I know that 1/3, 3 being my total, now I want 3 equal pieces. So I will divide like this. So this is 1 of the 3 in all. This piece is 1 of the 3 in all, and this is 1 piece of the 3 pieces in all. So I can label each of these 1/3. Now a trick to dividing things, especially when you're dealing with rectangles, if you want thirds, you want to draw 2 lines. If you want halves, you're going to draw 1. So whatever it is you're trying to draw, take the denominator and subtract 1, and that's how many lines will equally divide it. So as you get up into higher numbers like sixths and sevenths, you might spend a lot of time trying to equally divide them, but just take your denominator, subtract 1 away. That's how many lines you need. So for this example, thirds, I know my denominator is 3. If I take 1 away, I get 2. That's how many lines I needed to draw to equally break this into thirds. Okay? Now let's talk about the addition and the multiplying. Let's say I want to give more than just 1/3 of this ribbon to a friend. Well, how do I know how to add it? Well, when I'm dealing with the same denominator, that's what this D is for, like 1/3 plus 1/3, I have the same denominators. All I have to do is add the numerators. I do not change the denominator, okay? Because look, I have 1, 2, 3 pieces, and in my answer, I should still have 3 pieces, okay? You don't want to change your total amount. So I keep that the same and just add across the top. 1 plus 1 is 2. So if I wanted to share this with 2 people, then I could give 2/3 to somebody and keep 1/3 for myself. Okay? Another way to think about this is to multiply. I took 1/3 and 1/3, or 2/3. So I could say 2, 1, 2 times 1/3 equals, again, did my whole change? No, I still have 3 equal pieces. So that stays as my denominator, and all I do is multiply the 2 times the numerator. 2 times 1 is 2. So both times I get 2/3. Just this time I repeatedly added, and here I multiply. Okay? Key here, same denominators, you just focus on the numerator. All right, let's try another one, looking at fourths. All right, here's 1/4. Remember the trick I taught you to not have to worry about figuring out how to draw your lines? Take your denominator, this is how many equal pieces I want, subtract 1, and I get 3. That means I want to draw 3 lines here to get 4 equal pieces. See that? Easy, right? So this is 1 out of the 4 in all, this piece is 1 out of the 4 total, and this piece is 1 of the 4 in all, and this is 1 out of the 4 in all. Okay? So now let's say I want to take 3 pieces here to give away. Well, I could add 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Now again, don't change your denominator. It stays the same, because did my picture change? No, I still only have 4 pieces. So if I add across the top, 1 plus 1 plus 1, I get 3. So that means I would be giving away 1, 2, 3/4 away. And there's my answer. Okay, multiplying. Instead of repeatedly adding like this, I could say 1, 2, 3 times the 1/4 I want to give away equals, did I change my whole? No, I still only have 4 pieces of ribbon, so that stays. And all I do is multiply the 3 times the numerator to get 3/4. All right? Now, it is your turn. So, I will go through this, and then if you still are slightly confused, go back and rewatch, especially of me dividing, adding, and multiplying. So, I want you to first label the numerator and the denominator of this fraction right here. Then I would like for you to write this fraction in words. I want you to take this ribbon and divide it into 6ths. And remember my trick of how many lines you'll need. Then I want you to add 4 parts of this ribbon together, show your work, and tell me how many of these pieces of ribbon I would give away if I wanted to give 4 of them away. And then I would like for you to write number 4 as a multiplication equation and solve. So essentially all I'm asking you to do is to go back, and what I just did with the 4ths, you're going to do with 6ths. Okay? So go back, rewatch that if you need to. Otherwise, go ahead and give it a good shot. All right? Good luck.